Boop, 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 boop. Hell yeah, brother. Good afternoon, chat. I just found out my monitor's broke. Well, kind of broke. Very interesting. How are we all, chat? Yo, what's good, Smooch? What's good, Senju? What's good, Aiden? What's good, what's good, what's good? Rip monitor. Well, I mean, it's broke, but, like, not really. Like, if I alter it, it breaks. So I just not touch it. Oh my god, that came out of nowhere, pardon me. Good afternoon, chat. How are we all? What are we all doing? Apart from watching me. How was your weekends? Oh my god. I just need to know everything, bro. Honestly. Shit just not working no more. I think it's the wire, I think it's my DVI wire, I think. Not sure. Absolutely love your Kagurabachi videos. I appreciate that, King. Appreciate that. Need to go for that. Chat, yo, we're gonna be... I forgot today. I need to... Announcement. Wee woo, wee woo. Wee woo, wee woo. Big announcement. Hang on, how do I do things? I like... Can you not add fonts to fucking... Joining... Hishaku. That's it, that's the announcement. Hell yeah, brother. Joining the Hishaku right after stream. No, I'm just kidding. We're joining a Hishaku hideout. That's not how you spell hideout. Hell yeah. Boom. There you go. Big announcement. High background noise, what's up? That's valid. That's fair. I can't argue with that. That's fair. Yeah, so yeah, it'll be live. So the plan is I'm gonna be streaming for an hour, as I normally do. And then when the chapter drops, I'm gonna react to it with you guys as normal, and then once we're done there, about 30 minutes after it, I'm gonna hop over to the podcast. I'll still be live here, but also I want you all to go and watch their stuff. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, big dub. If you don't know the Hishaku Hideout, they do podcasts every Sunday. It's Tiberius and Dice, I'm pretty sure, that does the podcast. Unless I'm just completely fucking... I know for a fact it's definitely Tiberius. But you've probably seen them in chat. Either way. You know what I'm saying? So. Big announcement. Wee woo, wee woo. There you go. Yeah. Made it on time today? Hell yeah, brother. New law, holy, hell yeah. Streamer man, don't stop girly pop. Play don't stop girly pop. No. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Oh, my head hurts, bro. My glasses. Where does that comment? I just want someone... Are we reading Modulo? Right, no. So, no. We're not going to be reading Modulo this week. Okay? And we probably will not be reading Modulo on streams going forward. Right? So here's the plan. I made a free Patreon post for this. Right? I'm going to do some shameless plugging. I'm going to do some shameless plugging here right now. That's TikTok. I'm going to do some shameless plugging right now. Okay, so over on the Patreon, I made a post. Basically talking about the current situation of the channel, and like how I'm sort of navigating being full-time padre and doing videos and stuff like that. Because I want to talk about JJK and I also want to talk about Kagurabachi, but because they both drop in the same day, one of them has to suffer in order for me to do both. And I don't want that, right? So, here's what I'm gonna do. TLDR, basically, the TLDR is I'm gonna be uploading JJK video on a Sunday, which means after this stream, after I'm done with the podcast, the JJK video will go up tonight. I've got like 7 minutes left to edit on that video. That's like a 16, 17 minute long video, and that's gonna be out tonight, okay? You guys are gonna see that tonight, right? Which means once I'm done editing that, I can then get straight into work on the Kagurabachi video, and that should be out either Monday night or Tuesday latest, right? Which means both series, both Kagurabachi and JJK, my goats, my love, both get equal time for me to get a good video out for them, basically, rather than me just sort of feeling like I've got to rush it and not being able to give them the respect that they deserve. I'm gonna pin this. Can I pin this? Yeah, I am. Oh, yeah, there we go. I don't want to scroll up because, yeah. But yeah, basically the JJK Modulo video is going to be out tonight. Promise you won't get banned. I'm not looking at it on stream. You smell. GG's. Looking good with that fresh cut, man. How'd your ladies? I'm a married man. I'll have you know. So yeah. There will be no hiding of the ladies. That will not be necessary. I'm a happily married man. Actually not married. I've just been lying to you all this entire time. 1v1? What does that even mean? Created the kid via mitosis. That is true. She did just sort of appear. I'm not even sure. I actually still don't believe Mrs. Weeb. I keep telling her I still don't believe her. You know what I mean? I don't believe that she was ever pregnant. Like, this is all a dream. It's all a fever dream. Everything's going too good. You know what I'm saying? It's all a dream. I'm just looking for the lampshade to start flickering. If you get that reference, that's elite ball knowledge. So, chat, what have we all done with our weekends? What have we all done? Did we all do something fun? Something exciting? Little gal just spawned. I actually think she did, bro. She did. Lamp references kind of peak weeb. That's what I'm saying, brother. Watch JoJo's. Dub. I watched Hellboy yesterday. Finished watching Samurai Champloo. You know ball, brother. Holy fuck. You know fucking ball. What a fucking series. Soundtrack, choreography, animation, storyline, characters. A special kind of love for that series, man.
Remember, Derek Sluck celebrates 13 months of membership. Lucky 13. Kagurabachi hype.
Kagurabachi.
Cool face emoji.
Can more people donate so I can hear the TTS guy say Kagurabachi? Kagurabachi. The way he said that sounded like he's having a stroke. Yo, Derek, thanks so much for the fucking 13 months. Holy moly. Lucky number 13. Hakiri the GOAT. I'm going to be honest with you. For a while here, I wasn't liking his chances of survival, to be honest with you. I wasn't liking his chances of survival, to be honest. Was not liking that. But, hey, we move. We move, we move, we move. Bum, 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 bum. I'm nervous for today's chapter, chat. I'm very, very nervous. I'm extremely nervous for today's chapter, man. I am, I'm not feeling too confident in survival odds for certain characters, to be honest with you. I don't know why. Hakury seems kind of smushy like a hamster. I don't think I've ever looked at a hamster and thought, wow, you look smushy. That's very interesting, Tanmay. Very interesting insight into your mind. Azami solos, don't worry. I wish I had that. I wish I had that kind of optimism, you know. I really do. I really, really do, man. I just want to see more of Uraha and Yura. Yeah, bro. Uraha's out, brother. That guy's he's out the fight unless he gets up in this chapter. Unless he gets out in this chapter, I'm expecting just straight hands this chapter. To be honest, I'm expecting either a straight POV switch to Hakury, to Shihiro and Samura, or just straight hands between Yura and fucking Yura here. Yura and Yura? Between Azami and Yura? Good lord. Weekend progress. I'm finally at the point I like my own art. That is a fucking good feeling, man. That's a good feeling. I've been in that delusional state for a little while now. Everything that I'm coloring right now, I'm like, damn, I'm really proud of this. So, like, yeah, I fuck with that. That's a fucking good mental state to be in. That's the kind of shit, like, you wake up and you're like, I'm ready to fight God or become him. Let's fucking go. Yura, allergic to money, bro, needs to get a job. Oh, bro, that's so real. He just like me for real, man. I'm also allergic to money. It's so real. I'm a generational bag fumbler. It's actually so real. Me and Yura could just actually be homies. Like, on fucking God. On fucking God, brother. Me and Yura could be the homies. He did gamble at all. That's also respectful. He's not like me on that regard. Gambling scares me, bro. I'm very scared of gambling. Yura proved Azami's true power, plus 200% damage against poor people. Damn. Shouldn't we just, like... Shouldn't we be, like, rooting against Azami, then? Eat the rich type beat, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, sure, Azami might be bullying Yura right now, throwing change at him and shit like that, but then also at the same time, you could just be like, bam, scare Azami, 100% taxes, boom, no more money. Catch these 11 yen, forgot your change, motherfucker. Chat, what's our predictions? Well, let's get some predictions. Do Azami live? Thoughts, feelings? Azami's not even rich, Yura's just too big a gambling addict. It's just like comparison. By comparison, Yura gambles so much he makes. I forgot what I was saying. It's gone. GG's. Get your money up, not your funny up. Hokuto's gonna have something to do with it, I just know. Yeah, I don't like how Hokuto's just sort of disappeared off the side of the face, off the earth. That guy just evaporated. Pardon me. What's the poll saying? Do Azami live? Yes, 78%. Who's the doubters? We got 22% on the fucking nose. Who's the doubters? Hokuto was sent to sneak the Sword Saint, only to be vaporized by his aura. His stink from him sitting in the same spot for 18 years. That's fucking horrific. That needs to be drawn. I had an idea for some absolutely diabolical fan art the other day. And I don't know how it's not been done yet. And I don't know if I have the skills to do it myself. I can't hit my protein. 62 blumba blub glut. Pussy wagon chicken nuggets. What was I gonna type? Oh yeah. Now imagine, just walk with me here for a minute, chat. Imagine someone draws the Sword Saint. Someone draws the Sword Saint, but it's this guy instead. I don't have the skills to do it, to be honest with you. But, like, imagine. Like, that would be perfect. POV, the Sword Saint on his way to Shikoku. Someone already did it. I need to see it. I need to see it. I need to see that shit, man. It came out immediately after 72. I'm going to see if I can find it. Sword Saint. I need someone to find me that. See, if I type Kagurabachi Burger King, I just get the fucking Burger King collaboration. It's not what I'm trying to see. What if I type Sword Saint? Saw the same image on Reddit. I've never seen it, and I want to see it. It popped up in my head the other day, and I was like, how has no one done this yet? You reckon if I go on Twitter and type in Sword Saint Burger King, do you think that'll happen? You reckon that'll come up? I'm gonna be scrolling for years trying to find this shit, bro. Yeah, I'm not scrolling through all that. If someone finds it, if someone manages to find it, send me a link. We're able to send links through chat. I think you can. Try it. If you can't, if you're in my Discord, send it to me in Discord. Or just at me in it on Twitter, if you find it on Twitter. I still don't fully understand Azami's coin thing. What is it you don't understand? I'll see if I can help you. So we ever started reading Dandadan manga, made it all the way to the brawl on the airplane in Sharknado. Holy fuck. Bro, you speedrun that shit. You speedrun the fuck out of that, holy moly. Dandadan's been so good. Dandadan and Gachi Yakuta. Oh, that Patreon post that I was showing you guys earlier. I am going to be covering in short forms. I'm going to be covering Dandadan of a Monday in a short. And then of a Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to be covering Gachi Yakuta also. So, yeah. Because both those series, I really want to talk about them. And I simply don't have enough time to make full videos on all of them. So, short is where it's at. However, what I will say is, Dandan's shorts seem to be doing good. So, I'll take it. We'll take it as a win. There's the little mini reviews. It's pretty cool. Just like a little minute-long mini review, breaking down certain aspects of the chapter. It's pretty cool. The link ain't working. Alright, fair. Never mind. If you find it on Twitter, mind you, you're not on Twitter, are you? Shorts seem to be popping these days, honestly. A good idea. Yeah. Shorts have always been popping for a while, to be honest with you. We'll try Discord. Yeah, if you're on Discord, send me the link on Discord. The shorts make good money? No, not at all. But I don't do it for the money. I don't do this for the money. If I did this for the money, I'd be talking about One Piece and fucking Boruto and Chainsaw Man and other hit animes. But no, to answer your question, no, shorts do not make good money. I can show you something very funny with shorts, right? So back in the day. So I have 2 shorts, right? I have 3 shorts that have all crossed over 500,000 views, right? One at 660k views, another one at 680k views, and another at 915k views, right? The one that has 916k views, you ready for this, chat? This is how much it earned total, right? Total. Boom. It probably cost me more to make that short, to be honest with you. Shorts money does not make, like, you do not make good money off shorts, to be honest with you. You make pennies off shorts. Shorts is, like, good for growth, to be honest with you. If that was a long-form video, that would be hella money. Hella money. I tell you, if that was a long-form video, if that was a video that was over, like, 12 minutes long, that would be hella fucking money. Hella money. How is Azami's coin ability supposed to be meant for healing purpose? Was just relieving muscle pain? Okay, so I don't know the exact science behind it, but essentially, it's essentially just a case of the properties within the coin and the way it works. Let me put up the air. The different ionization characteristics of 2 different metals produce a faint electrical current, and it regulates the electrical currents within the body to relieve muscle tension and pain, essentially. So essentially, it's like electroshock therapy. Just think of it that way. Like, rather than getting lost in the details, just think of it like electroshock therapy, essentially. Like, low-frequency electroshock therapy. But Azami found a way to basically make it so he can enhance his own power, essentially. So think of it this way. The original use for it is essentially electroshock therapy that can help you with muscular pain, right? The way Azami uses it is closer to how Killua used his Nen ability in Hunter x Hunter. He was using electrical currents to basically boost his own strength even further. So he's using a combination of his own strength to beat the fuck out of Yura, plus he's using, like, the electrical currents against Yura also. If that makes sense. I hope I haven't just butchered the explanation for that. But yeah, that's basically the top and bottom of it, I think. Whenever I see complicated chaos techniques, whenever I see complicated techniques like that, what I often try to do in my brain is just simplify it. Because you'll get a lot of chaos techniques. For example, Hakari from JJK, his chaos technique, when you read it, is like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this shit, bro. Let me pull this up for you. Because I know there's some people in my chat that haven't read JJK. Let me just give you a glimpse into some of the fucking complicated chaos techniques that were going on within this. We're going on within this fucking series, man. Shit was ridiculous. $187, was it? No. When the fuck did we get the explanation for Hikari's curse technique? I think it was when he fought Reggie, right? Not Reggie, fucking... Fuck, I can't remember his name, bro. $183? Yeah, look. This is the fucking explanation for Hikari's curse technique in Jujutsu Kaisen. And all this basically boils down to is essentially it doesn't matter how many times Hikari rolls, he's gonna hit jackpot. It's just how it works. It's essentially his curse technique is essentially rigged. He eventually is gonna hit jackpot. That's just how it works. It's just a matter of time once he activates that domain. That's just how it works. But reading that, you're like, what the fuck? What is this? We got probabilities. What? I gotta read this fight and think about all this shit? No. You just look at it and be like, yo, okay, eventually he's gonna hit the jackpot. That's just how it is. Finally did it. I binge read all of JJK this week. Hey, fucking W. Wait, first time read or second time read? I was understanding it to basically be Azami giving Yura a full body Charlie horse via forcing his muscles to suddenly contract. Essentially, yeah. Essentially, he's basically just either tasing Yura, essentially, or tasing himself to make himself stronger. It was good, Rohi. I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good. I almost said I'm going good for a second. First time read. Trying to take part in the weekly modulo. Bro, I wish I could go back in JJK for the first time. Stony, give me your honest impressions. What did you think of the series overall? Whoever he's fighting it has to read it also. They don't even read it. They just get an info dumped into their brain. Swear to God, please don't let the chapter open in an airport. I'm just saying. Hey, I'm just saying. If it does open in an airport, I called it last week. Just saying. Just saying. We got 30 minutes, by the way, chat. Oh my God, Rocky, I'm gonna run you over, brother, please. Can you not? Thank you. I was a very big fan. I thought people over-hating on the ending. It's so nice to hear, man. Genuinely. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Genuinely glad you enjoyed it. I think you got a pure experience for it. If you've read it as like a binge read, and you've read it without the weekly clamoring and the weekly Twitter chirping into your ear, it's a different experience, to be honest with you. So, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm genuinely glad you enjoyed it. Couldn't stop reading it. My boss at work's probably sick of me seeing looking at it. But it's a really good series, man. It's a fucking really good series, brother. It really is. Gege saw the agenda and buffed the aliens this chapter? Yeah. Okay, so also, chat, no spoilers, by the way. I have read the Modulo chapter. I read it through TCB, okay? I have read it. I know what's going on. But there are people in chat that haven't, so I'm being respectful of them. My thoughts, feelings, and opinions for the chapter will drop tonight, not long after this stream. Watched all the Gachi Yakuza anime. Holy cook, brother! You need to read it. You also need to read that because that's also a phenomenal series. I binge read the Cullen Game arc. I caught up to it when we were just going into the Cullen Games, or mid Cullen Games, should I say? When I caught up to it, we were up to Hikari fighting. Quick rating for JJK this week: 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Very, very big 8 out of 10. I think this week is the week where everything clicked for me, where I'm starting to understand the underlying themes of what Gege's going for with this with the story, which I talk about in the video. But I think I'm starting to see the vision of what Gege's cooking here. I think. Yeah, but that video is going to be out tonight. Once the stream's done and once I'm done with the podcast and stuff like that, I will be I'll be getting back to work on that video. Sorry, Mr. Weeb, couldn't find your waiters on the Burger King Sword Saints. Would you like the title already? Yeah, sure. You already got the JJK video ready to go? Yeah, it's like almost. I've got like it's a 16-minute video, and I've got I've got 8 to 7 minutes, 8 to 7 minutes left to do it. Is that what it's called? I'm still baffled. All right. Oh, yeah. That's unreal. That's so funny as fuck. Bro, the fucking Rokuhira in the background as well. Get this fucking islander off this plane. Bro. That's so funny. That's actually so funny, brother. I don't care what anyone says, brother. That dude has done irreparable damage for the Burger King brand. Every time I see a Burger King crown, I can only think of that fucking meme now. Look at that shit, bro. Jesus Christ. Bro. This doesn't make, by the way, this doesn't make sense if you haven't seen the video. I'm not going to play the video. But basically, old white dude got on a plane and went, he crashed the fuck out. In what I can only think has to have been a planned crash out. There's no way he did that off the cuff. No thumbnail reveal today? The thumbnail reveal is up on the Patreon, but chat, do you want to see the thumbnail? I'll do the democracy thing again. I'll let you guys vote. See thumbnail. Yes, no. I'm doing less words today. Less words equal bigger speak, smile. Yep. May I please have a water? May I please have a water? Oh, God tier marketing. True. Been really loving the Kagurabachi content on Reddit. Really helping get past the week-to-week read on the next chapter. I don't really fuck with Reddit, to be honest with you. I don't really fuck with Reddit, to be honest with you. However, what I will say is when the baby was first born, I did use Reddit a fair amount to actually not speak to other people, but just read other people's thoughts on like what it was like being a first-time dad. Would you ever consider writing a comic/manga? No. I ain't got the time, brother. I ain't got the time. I'm much more of an enjoyer of these things, not a creator of these things. Less word, more thought. Yes. Are they stressful 2 weeks? I'm banking on filler/mid chapter. No. No. I think we'll probably see Hogazona probably return to form a little bit this week. I don't fuck with Reddit either, but Kagurabachi Reddit is mad chill, so I checked up on it often. Enjoy it while it lasts, because it probably won't be too long. Thumbnail reveal. Okay, this is a thumbnail reveal. Obviously, this is a thumbnail reveal for JJK, by the way, because obviously I haven't seen nothing of Kagurabachi. Yeah, I saved that image because I was going to do it myself. Who the fuck is it? This is where we're at right now. Bingo bango. Thumbnail reveal. Yeah. Don't have a lot of people who know Kagurabachi, so it's so good to know other people's thoughts on thumbnails. Yeah, it's cool. Mara's pose goes hard. Yeah, it goes fucking crazy. There's quite a few ideas that I had for the thumbnail, to be honest with you. There's quite a few ideas that I had for the thumbnail. There's a lot in that chapter, man. There's so much in that chapter to talk about. It's actually insane. It's actually insane. Kagurabachi is number 2 in Oricon. What's number 1? Is it JJK by any chance? Wait, no, Oricon? Oricon's the sales thing, isn't it? I'm getting that confused with the table of contents. That's what I was thinking there. Chat, 25 minutes, by the way. 25 minutes. Mars might go, I don't care. Then you're probably going to like my take on what's going on with him, specifically, from this next chapter. I think I figured out how Maru, Cross, and Yuka and Tsurugi are all going to interact. You ever read Akan Benanshi? No, I've not, no. Do you think the Sword Bearers, Shiba, etc. committed war crimes before the malediction? I kind of want to say no. But I think given the world that Hokuzono is depicting, I'm not gonna rule it out. I mean, for example, Shiba's a torturer. He knows how to interrogate people, okay? So, there is, at some point during his career within that war, he has either crossed the line into straight up war crime or has tipped it very slightly. I think the way that Hokuzono is depicting war, especially not so much the war that we've seen so far, but more so the after effects. I mean, fuck. The after effects that hit Natsuki, the after effects that hit Uraha, the after effects that hit Samura, and all of these other people that we've seen post-war have all been really brutal in terms of how it's affected their mental states, to be honest with you. So I'm very, very interested to see just how, if we do ever get to see what the war was like. I know I personally am not holding too much hope on it. I think it's good the way he's telling it in terms of like flashback, like varying flashbacks where people are just piecing it together. But I think if Hokuzono did ever depict the war sense, I do think it would be very grisly and very dark in terms of how he depicts it, to be honest with you. Weeb is a black man when Tsurugi said we're supposed to be dangerous. I read it one way. Fair. Understandable. I'm a bit too Caucasian to relate on that one. To confirm the sentence. But I feel it. I'm really curious about the relationship of Kunishigi and the Sword Saint, and also Shihira's mother as well. Yeah, I'm also curious. Yeah, no, I think I fully agree with that, to be honest with you. I want to see what happened with the Sword Saint to make him crash out like that. You know what I mean? Imagine the Shiba Azami double team. Imagine Shiba dropping Azami on some poor fucker like a heat-seeking missile just evaporates a bunch. Yo, it's good, Latency. I'm doing good, brother.
Hey, it's Josh. Call me back. Opposed to one way going into Days Lie Dormant.
Holy man. 20 minutes, by the way, chat. 20 minutes. I'm gonna grab me some water. I haven't got any water. Ah, shit. What was he saying, chat? Chat's saying some fucking crazy shit. For all heaven and earth, I am the seated one. Surely it's got something to do with the Dansek. I consider the Shinoichi is unlike the other enchanted blades. I've always been of the opinion that the Sword Saint is from the island. I think he's from the island, and for some reason was kicked from the island. Fucking dude got kicked from the VC. He got fucking banned from the Discord, and he took it personally. That's what I thought, man. And he took, because like there's no, unless like I don't know. We also need to know what blade was created first. Thank you for answering my question. I asked because I'm heavily curious of the Shogoku royalty and their intentions. Yeah, there's a lot of mystery there, man. So you don't need to thank me, brother. That's why I'm here. Every child when banned on Roblox. True. Chat, if you're just tuning in, by the way, make sure to like the stream. Appreciate you. And if you want to see more shit from me, and more just waffling, go follow my Instagram. I'm gonna shamelessly plug the Instagram. Hell yeah. I'm giving out free cookies to anyone who follows the Instagram right now. Hell yeah. Shameless plug. Don't want to keep talking about Dandadan Weeb, but how do you feel about Saint Germain? I don't know how to feel about him right now. I'm not sure how to feel about him. Don't think he linked it enough? Ah, that's true. One more for good measure, just in case. Just in case. I'm not sure how to feel about Saint Germain, to be honest with you. I think we do know a fair amount about him, but then also at the same time, we also don't. I mean, he literally title dropped. Like, a couple of chapters back, a couple of months back, and then we just haven't seen anything from him. Like, in terms of, like, do you know about Dandadan type shit, you know what I mean? Like, we haven't seen anything about that. And don't forget, after that title drop, Tatsu took a month break to go and research stuff. What the fuck was he researching? No idea. But I do think, I think this like little reset that's going on in the story now, I do think we're gonna see more of him now. I think one of the complaints that I've always had for Tatsu as a storyteller, and it works for Dandadan, I think, because the story and the like chaotic nature of it, I think it works, is the monster of the week flavor / formula that he's been doing, where he will every week it felt like we were having a new chaotic thing to deal with, and any sort of story arcs that we did have in regards to characters were self-contained to like 2 to 3 chapters, and then it'd be on to the next thing. It was very fast-paced, very rapid. It didn't feel like we had like a sort of overarching goal. I mean, like we did, but it didn't feel that way to me personally. I like it in shonen manga when we have like a sort of overarching villain, overarching antagonist to deal with, and I don't think we've had that, right? We've had an overarching goal, which is basically get Okarun's balls back, basically. But now that's all done and dusted, right? So now I think now that that's sorted, now we're moving into like an overarching antagonist, which I'm very, very happy about. Both use swords, both major antagonists. Coincidence? I think not. True. Yugen Obatatsu and Hogazono are the same person. You ever seen them in the same room together? No. Here we go. Tell you what, next arc's gonna go stupid in the anime. I think Dandadan is just gonna be one of those where it's very rare the anime's not gonna pop. York upscale. I need to get back on One Piece, bro. You just reminded me. I need to get back on One Piece, man. Oh, fucking shit's crazy. How many more chapters do you think this arc has left? Do you think Samura's going to show up in this chapter? No, I don't think we're going to see. I don't think we're going to see Shihiro or Samura until the end of the at the end of the series, until the end of this arc. No, I think they're going to arrive too late. Genuinely. This JJK chapter gives so much more insight into the personality of the aliens. True, it really does. It really, really does. There's a lot going on, to be honest with you. There's a lot going on in that chapter. I'm a big, big fan of it. Genuinely, really big fan of it. I think it... Can you believe Jujutsu Kaisen's been back for 6 weeks? 6 weeks? It only feels like 2 days ago that I was like getting all excited and like getting hyper. I remember the day that the announcement that JJK was coming back happened. I'd slept for 2 hours because Baby Weeb had kept me awake all fucking night, right? And I'd slept for 2 hours, right? I fell asleep at 4 a.m. and woke up at 6 a.m. because that's how long the baby slept for, right? And that day, I remember waking up half asleep, confused, what the fuck is going on, and checking my phone and seeing that news. And my head just exploded. And that was 6 weeks ago, by the way, as of today. That was 6 weeks ago. Longer, actually. Which is nuts to think about. What the fuck is going on, brother? Where's time? What's happening? What is happening? I don't even know what's going on, man. JJK isn't back until a new 6 Eyes Limitless user appears. What if they're already here? Modulo was an amazing sequel series. I don't care what anyone says. It's good. It's good. It is good. I'm happy to see Gege back in the chair and writing. Right? I'm very, very happy to see Gege back in the chair and writing, genuinely. Is it topping Jujutsu Kaisen for me? No, not personally. Does it have potential? Yes. Yes, it does. I don't think it will surpass Jujutsu Kaisen for me personally, but could it be on par? Maybe. Time's irrelevant since 2020. It's real shit, bro. That's some real shit you just said there, man. That's some real shit. I wouldn't be surprised if we got more Modulos for JJK. I am of a belief right now that this series is, like, gonna lead us into a bigger series, to be honest with you. Because Gege only wants this to go for, like, 6 months, give or take. So, yeah. Hard to top the first 2 chapters of JJK. Yeah, the first... To be fair, the thing is, though, with the original JJK series, Gege came out the gate fucking swinging. I mean, what? By chapter, like, fucking 7, Yuji had been killed off, you know what I mean? Like... So, I am expecting Gege to do something fucking crazy. You know what I mean? I had another question up top. Well, here's my third question. Do you think Kasan is justified? I think it depends on your stance, realistically. I think what I really like about Kagurabachi is that when it comes to people's opinions on the Sword Saint and the Shinoichi, there's right and wrong answers on both sides. No one side is correct, you know what I mean? No one side within Kagurabachi when it comes to the opinion of the Sword Saint is correct, in my opinion, because, yeah, the dude committed the genocide, right? And yeah, realistically, you should fucking kill that dude. But if you kill that dude, the heroes who fought and gave their lives and fought, risking their lives to stop him, then die needlessly. You know? So you're kind of punishing one bad guy and then also punishing the other good guys that helped him. You know? So yeah, it's morally complicated, I think. Samura's plan is the best plan. Samura's plan is the best plan in the grand scheme of things, I suppose. Yeah, in a grand scale, yes, it is. But where Samura's plan falls apart very, very fucking quickly is he would be leaving his daughter behind. He done what his grand master plan is so selfish in regards to him and his family. It's insane. You know what I mean? Yeah, his reason... Well, it does have something to do with the malediction. But it's more selfish. You know what I mean? His reason for the malediction... He doesn't want to see another malediction. But his reason was... He doesn't want his daughter to suffer the malediction. You know what I mean? No, I mean Kassen. Oh, yeah. No, yeah, that's true. I think the other clans are going to start to close in on the Kamanabi due to the Hishaku's machinations, the fallout of the Sazanami. I don't know if there's like a sort of power struggle. And again, it also depends on the clans, you know what I mean? Some of them might just want to be fucking left alone, you know what I mean? If you don't mind me asking, how did you and Mrs. Weeb meet? We met on a dating app. I think it wasn't Tinder. It was called Hinge. It was called Hinge. We met on a dating app, and I was literally like, I'm not even joking. I was about like 2 to 3 days away from just deleting all social media apps and going on a farming arc. Like, unironically, bro, I was so, like, just done with other people and interaction at that point. And then I met her, and then we started speaking. I was like, damn, this is crazy. This is just clicking so fucking nice right now. And here we are, nearly 6 years later. That's how me and your mother met. That's what I'm going to say to Baby Beep. Can't wait for Sheba to battle the Sword Saint using the Malediction. You can't wait for Sheba to battle the Sword Saint while he's using the Malediction, or while someone else is going to make the Malediction. It's actually so wholesome. We met as well in prime COVID. We met during lockdown. Like, when it was, like, lockdown. Like, you had to... You were at risk of, like, being stopped by police and stuff like that, just being outside. That's how we met. And we ended up playing Apex a shit ton together. Didn't you say you played Bioshock on the first date? Yeah, we did, yeah. Played Bioshock and Kingdom Hearts on the first date. It was fucking great, man. Usually the success story from dating apps. Bro, honestly, everyone that I know who I've spoken to about dating apps are like, oh yeah, that was like close to just uninstalling the shit. We got 8 minutes left till peak, by the way, chat. Kind of feel like I'm on the brink of a farming arc. Wait till New Year and we'll see. Brother, just do it. Just commit. Just commit to it. Delete all the social media, it'd be better for you, I promise. Cleanse your brain. It's actually a good point. Most times you could avoid trouble if you don't get involved. In fact, that's with how Kassen and Yura want the Magatsumi. It could make sense. How soon do you think Samura is dying? I don't know. I still have that theory that Samura appearing is part of Yura's plan, to be honest with you. Just found out Wizard 101 is now on consoles. What is that? Does Samura make it to 100 or dies at chapter 100? I don't know. I actually don't know. What always sticks in my mind... I'm going to see if I can find this. What always sticks in my mind is there's something that Yura said. Did I just find that perfectly? I did. Oh my god, brother. My brain is just magnificent. Look at this. This is what Yura said in chapter 75. The Hishaku's most powerful weapon right now. We must wield him wisely and then sacrifice him for the greatest possible gain. Think about it realistically. Every single member, barring Toto, Kuguri, and Hirohiku, are all in the Kaminabi HQ right now. Who is trying to get into the Kaminabi HQ right now? Samura. What would be the possible greatest gain from Samura right now? Is for him to die in the HQ and leave his sword for another member of the Hishaku to take, thus helping them take over the Kaminabi HQ and kill the fucking Sword Saint. This panel constantly lives rent-free into my fucking head. Yura's a prick. True. Yura's a fucking prick, mate. High chance we get no sketches this chapter? Yeah. I'm going to say it's about 85% that this chapter looks like a return to form from Hokuzono here. Really hoping Hokuzono got a break. Yeah, I hope he does. I really want, at the end of this chapter, to say break next week, to be honest with you. Right, chat. I'm going to go to the toilet real quick. I'm going to leave you in the trusted hands of Chairkun here. We got 5 minutes till peak, so go grab some water, popcorn, snacks, all that good shit. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Bro deserves a month off. I agree. What do you think of the flash forward of chapter 71? I'm lost. What flash forward? Help me out. I'm a bit of an idiot. A month at minimum. I also agree. Shikoka with the hardy R, bro. My chair just wilding out, brother, I swear. Bro, the fucking Burger King crown speaks to my chair like the goblin mask, I'm telling, brother. Three minutes, by the way, chat. 3 minutes. Yo, what's good, Wimbo? Oh, by the way, chat, if you're just tuning in and you haven't paid attention to the text at the top of the screen here, I will be joining the Hishaku Hideout, the podcast, after this stream. Okay? I'll be hopping on with them to talk all things Kagurabachi and shit like that. Right now? No. After. It'll be after. So in about 30 minutes, give or take. Because it won't take me that long to like read through the chapter and stuff like that. So in about 30 minutes, I'll be joining them. How's it going, Reg? I'm feeling good today, actually. I'm feeling good. I slept pretty decently this morning. Oh, yeah. Doing pretty good. Less than a minute, by the way, chat. Less than a minute. Less than a minute. My friends and I are probably going to go see Spider-Man 2 when it's showing. Wait, isn't that rejoining the cinemas, isn't it, soon? Oh, wait, yeah, you just typed that. Good lord. Brain dead. Can't listen to that. Right. It's time, chat. It's time. Chapter 97, Vessel. Turn the music down a little bit. It's time, chat. It's time, it's time, it's time. Oh my god! Oh! Oh! Oh my fuck! That might be my thumbnail already, chat. I'm not gonna lie to you. That might be the thumbnail. Good fucking lord, bro. Okay, okay. Whew. Good lord. Yo. Oh. Oh, that's fucking nasty, brother. That might be the thumbnail, chat. I think that's the winner for the thumbnail. Thoughts? Thoughts? I think that's the thumbnail right there. Immediately, bro. Good lord. Oh. Kaminabi headquarters is surrounded by a force field that repels anyone who isn't Kaminabi. That strong, immense force field derives from natural forces. The magic inscriptions covering the enormous subterranean edifice. Oh, what a word, edifice. Converts the Earth's heat into spirit energy, supplying it into the building's interior. It's pretty fucking cool. It's pretty fucking cool. Spirit energy is a life force. I like how he's reusing Daruma. It must be associated with a human and channeled through a person's will to become sorcery. Spirit energy that belongs to no one cannot be wielded. In other words, This vast spirit energy is intrinsically beyond human control. Spirit energy with nowhere to go simply fizzles. That's where I come in. The person at the force field's core is selected once every 10 years from a very small pool of candidates. Oh, lovely. Good lord. They be just munching some stuff? If they complete a decade of service, they are promised enough compensation for a life of leisure thereafter. First, the person's body must be restructured. For roughly 4 months, they drift in the liminal space between life and death. They lose a number of organs and their reproductive functions. That tremendous energy has nowhere to escape. Their body becomes its vector, transforming it into the force field. Their presence alone is what makes that powerful force field possible. They uphold the force field's core. 6 others are close by to provide auxiliary support. Brother, that's fucking insane. They're basically using humans as batteries. That's fucking insane. The Shinoichi's power is being unleashed in this building. Yes, and the spirit energies above are our reinforcements. Why don't they come straight here? Communications are cut off too. Something must be wrong with the force field. The only ones who should be influencing the force field are the 6 people connected to it here. Among them is another traitor. It's not anybody here. But the only people who can influence the force field are here. There's one other. Another vessel like me. Stop it. This message will be short and not repeated. There is one more vessel in this building. The linchpin of the headquarters who controls the force field with their own body. Normally, there's only one. That person must have overwritten the force field's parameters. As a result, we're unable to summon reinforcements. In addition to our current vessel that mediates the force field, the device needed to cultivate a successor was already prepared, just in case of unforeseen circumstances. Naturally, it was heavily guarded, but with Carson's guidance, it could easily have been swapped out for a fake. We might as well served it up on a silver platter. Need you back in the battle. Our top priority is restoring the force field. Holy shit. With a second vessel in play, the circuit that generates the force field is altered, changing the force field's function. Now it's serving only to repel those 2 enchanted blades. This requires drastic measures. With 2 vessels, the energy is irregular and unstable. The efforts are even influencing the building's communications system. But that must have been factored into the plan. However, even if this gives them an advantage, the price to pay. In other words, they're fully prepared to do whatever it takes. Yura will be king. Holy fuck. It's the last time we saw this motherfucker as well, by the way. You're gonna wear yourself out fighting like that. Thank you for your concern, but you should worry about yourself. You have the Shinoichi and can't fend off an unarmed opponent. I'd be panicking if I was you. Bit by bit, it's coming into my grasp. I'm ready to live up to your expectations. Bro, look at the panel, by the way. Oh my god, brother. Look at the paneling. Holy fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. We're so fucking back, bro. We are so fucking back. We are so fucking back, chat. So now the question is, how fucked is Azami right now? Another thumbnail contender? Yeah, low-key. This and the Azami one at the beginning is crazy. It's either one or two or both, and I don't know. Just as you said, thanks to its instability, the force field will succumb within a few minutes. But before that happens, Yura will reach the Swordmaster. All we have to do is kill your vessel and restore the force field. It's still slightly sketchy, but it's way better. You can tell he's back on form here. I'm also starting to think that the sketchiness on Yura is on purpose. For this particular panel, anyway. If the force field is restored, reinforcements will arrive. We need the enchanted blades to stop him. Oh my god, brother. The muscles and bone of both my arms are shredded. The Shinoichi's powers are ridiculous. Unfortunately, that really limits what I can do. Pretty soon it'll get worse too. But even so, I can still hit you. Oh my god, brother. Oh my god, brother. Ow! Oh my god. That is indeed a centipede growing out of his fucking mouth, by the way. That's centipede going in and out of his mouth. Holy fuck. By the way, I talked about this in the last video, but in one of the previous chapters, you can see the Sword Saint using multiple iterations of Centipede. There are multiple coming from him, where Kiora could only use one. And now now Yura is using multiple of these motherfuckers. I'll buy us all the time I can. Just get here before I die. Oh, this dude's prepared to die. If he was at the headquarters this whole time, I would have noticed. It's someone who just got here, in other words. I bet you it's Tree Hishaku. Do not stop killing the Hishaku. Assume that anyone who stands in your way is aligned with the Hishaku. Exterminate the Hishaku as quickly as possible. There's Hokuto back. Betting on Carlos, a genist. I'm betting on Tree Hishaku, to be honest with you. That's the only dude that we've seen forcefully interacting with a force field. Where do you think this will take us next chapter? War, to be honest with you. This won't just be the Hishaku fighting the Kaminabi. This will be both sides fighting each other. I think this will probably split off into multiple different fights here. Might be Hokuto, because we were confused on how he got in. I'm betting it's the strongest fighter, Hishaku. Holy fuck, brother. This is stunning, man. Oh my god, brother. This is stunning artwork. Okay, chat. Rate the chapter. Rate the Kagurabachi chapter right now. Let me hear it. I'm saying solid 9.5 out of 10. Purely just for this panel of Yura and the beginning panel of Azami. That's 9.5 out of 10 for me. These two panels alone are just stunning, brother. The fact that Azami is prepared to die makes me think he's going to make it now. Yeah, that's true. I literally talked about that in the last video as well, about how Yura's convictions in comparison to Azami's convictions were very, very different. Yura is here prepared to fucking lay his life down for this, where Azami only felt like he was here for revenge. So now we're seeing Azami settling into, like, I might not make it out of this, but you're gonna feel some shit before I leave, you know? Yura wants to be king. I don't know if that wants to be. You think that's what he's after? He wants to be king of He wants to be like the Shogun or something. 9 out of 10 because world building. Bro, the pan. Oh, fuck, I can't stop looking at this panel, bro. Like, bro, like the flowers overlapping the text box and stuff like that. Oh my god, brother. You know what this reminds me of? You know what this reminds me of, chat? This reminds me of Throughout Heaven and Earth. This reminds me of Throughout Heaven and Earth. That's what this reminds me of. Oh, wait, wow. I went to go and find JJK and automatically clicked on Kagurabachi. That's insane. Kagurabachi brain rot has taken over me, man. Yo, no worries, latency, take care. Same vibes. That's what this reminds me of. Same vibes. That's what this reminds me of, yeah. Holy fuck. Kagurabachi is the new JJK. You heard it here first. True. Actually got to be busy on a Sunday for once. That's fair. Doesn't it look more like a resurrected Toji? He kind of does. He actually does. Can't get over how good this looks, man. I want more of the Sword Saints because he reminds me of Hirohige and Samura. Yoko underestimated Samura and got shit on, so I want Yura to get shit on by the Sword Saint. The thing is, though, is I don't think Yura is underestimating the Sword Saint in the slightest. I genuinely don't think, like, Hirohige, yeah, he definitely underestimated Samura. Like, that dude went into that fight and was like, yeah, I'm gonna kill Samura, la la la. This dude is, like, meticulously planned this shit out and has even acknowledged the fact that he might die. The thought that Hirohige might die was never even a thought to him. How many more chapters until the end of the arc? I haven't got a fucking clue, brother. I haven't got a clue. People are theorizing that the arc ends at chapter 100, but I don't know. Indomitable human spirit, by the way, is fucking phenomenal from Azami. Straight up indomitable human spirit. Yeah, people are theorizing that the chapter ends at like 100, but the arc ends at 100, but I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the way Hokuzono is writing at the minute, we could be in an entirely different arc right now. This just gave the arc another 10 chapters. Another point for Carlos is he could be the modifying, but he could be modifying the force field while he was off screen after Uraha kicked him. That is true, because Mr. Bald Hishaku made a comment that he was connected, he was hit, you know what I mean? What do you rate the chapter? 9.5 out of 10. Easily. Do you think Shihiro and Samura make it in time? If they have to kill a Hishaku member, it could be hard. I don't think Shihiro and Samura make it in time, to be honest with you. I do think the Hishaku are going to get out of this and complete their goal. Imagine being the Hishaku right now, hearing the PR go, kill them all as fast as possible. Probably just sat there like, oh, bet we get to run the ones. Yeah, I mean, like, bro, this dude, I know for a fact this guy, Hokuto here, is creaming in his fucking undies right now thinking about this. Short-ass chapter? Not, bro, I don't know what chapter you were reading, but I don't think this is a short-ass chapter, brother. Like, what the fuck? We've got a lot of fucking dialogue to go through here. I would not say this is a short chapter, by no means in the imagination. Makes sense how Hokuto got there so fast. They had a vessel. Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Like, look. Tremendous energy with no way to escape. Bro, think about it this way, right? I'm convinced it's Tree Hishaku. Convinced. Spirit energy is life force. It must be associated with a human and channeled through a person's will to become sorcery. Spirit energy that belongs to no one cannot be wielded. In other words, this vast spirit energy is intrinsically beyond human control. Spirit energy with nowhere to go simply fizzles. Think about this way. I am fully of the opinion this right here, spirit energy is life force, and the rest of this instruction fully tells us that it's tree Hishaku. Trees are often looked at as like life force, you know what I mean? He's the only one we've seen interacting with the force field. Like, look. Let's go to chapter 75, right? I think it was 75? Yeah, see. Kamanabe headquarters is quite the obstacle. Look at his eye. His eye's missing. And the fact that Yura, right? Like, think about it this way. Think about it logically. Trees are associated with life. Spirit energy is life force, right? Tree Hishaku is not inside of the base right now, but he's the only person that we've seen physically interacting with the barrier, right? And also at the same time, he's always close to Yura. He's acted like Yura's right-hand man. He is also, by the way, he's the only person in the Kamanabe whose tattoo is on the opposite side of the hand. If parts of a body get removed in order to do this process, it's this fucking guy. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind that this isn't the fucking Carlos didn't pee. The vessel loses reproductive functions. Yeah, brother, you can still piss and not have reproductive functions. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to lose your cock and balls to lose all reproductive functions. You can still keep your cock and balls and piss and fucking and not have reproductive functions. You just simply, the process could just be like chemotherapy and just make them infertile. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure some chemotherapy can make people infertile, right? It says you lose organs and it shows holes. Don't know, man. I mean, yeah, you could lose organs, but you can still lose your reproductive organs and still be able to take a piss. Carlos upscale next chapter. I don't really like Yura's goal being just someone. I prefer that when he was like seemed like some moral high ground righteous justice. Feels better for a villain's end goal, but Hunter's not one we trust. I mean, is that not the same thing, though? Yeah, but brother, you got to understand, Bobby. What you've just said is literally this is the next step. You know what I mean? Why are people calling him Carlos instead of Pishaku? Did I miss the name drop? Honestly, I don't even know. But like, you know what's more funny to me is that when people say certain names for certain Hishaku, I just automatically know who it is they're talking about, which I find quite funny. Where's the chapter with Mr. Tree Hishaku? That Azami panel's so good, by the way. Kagurabachi. Oh, what's going on, Mori, by the way? Holy fuck. It's been a minute. Scroll through to try and see other panels of Tree Hishaku here. Killer panels on this chapter? Yeah. Is it time for Hishaku at hideout? Yes. I'm waiting for Tai to DM me. Hold up, chat, been summoned. Papa? Where are you?
Right, where's that baby? Where is she?
Oh. No, no. What? What? Sorry, I had to go and say hello to the Baba. Right, chat. BRB, 1 second. I need to go and help Mrs. Weeb real quick. My dog's gonna go apeshit right now. So I apologize. I'm gonna have to mute the microphone so you don't hear my dog going apeshit, but BRB, 1 second. Wait, I'm still muted. There we go. Hello, I'm back. Sorry, I had to go and see to the baby. I had to go and help Mrs. Weeb. Holy moly. Right, we should be joining the Hishaku podcast very shortly. I'm just waiting on Ty to get back to me. If you don't know, the Hishaku podcast is like basically just a podcast filled with dudes who just love the Hishaku and Kagurabachi, I guess. But yeah, we'll be chatting with them. Hell yeah, brother. Right. Let me get my headphones. It's time, chat.
Yo, yo.
Yup.
What's up,
What's
buddy?
good, Reeb?
What's good? What's good? What's good? Can you hear me okay and all that?
Chillin'.
What's that?
You can hear me all good and shit? Yep.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Sweet, 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 sweet. Good, 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 good. One sec.
Yes,
Now
sir.
recording.
That was creepy.
Yeah, that's Craig. He's an asshole.
No, that's our guy.
Holy moly.
Yeah,
What'd you think,
What a
man?
chapter.
Before we get cracking, Weeb, what'd you think of the chapter?
Straight 9.5 out of 10 for me. I honestly think that Yura panel and that Azami panel, I think carried low-key, to be honest with you. Visual storytelling off the charts for me personally. What about you guys?
I agree.
Yeah, I'm in the same
I agree.
ballpark. Yeah. I mean, we're Yura Glazers over here,
Yeah.
so.
Yep. Me too, to be fair. There's a lot of people in my chat, like, well, not a lot, but I saw a few opinions where they're not too fond of the sort of dynamic that he's going for right now, rather than just being a sort of, what's the word, wanting to, like a sort of empathetic revenge type beat. Now he's going on to a sort of tyrannical leader, or kind of looks that way.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's still early to, to
Yeah.
tell.
Especially with what's his face, Carlos Ishaku saying that Yura will be king and stuff like that. Everyone seems to be a little bit, what's the words, not too happy about it.
Well, he deserves to be king in my eyes. Okay? And fuck him. Nah,
That's
they
definitely
the thing is, I think people are so like quick to just take everything at face value, in the weekly I mean, I think we all do that to some extent.
Yeah.
And I mean, look at Yura, his development just in this one arc. Like we were worried about him being like a mind controlled puppet or a spawn of the Makatsumi like a month ago.
That's-
but they were
that's
like,
true.
Oh, no, he's his own man now.
Yeah.
And then 1 week later, we're like, oh no, now he wants to be a tyrannical leader.
Yeah.
It's I think there's gonna be some nuance to his character when it's all said and done.
100%. Yeah, I agree. I've seen comparisons between him and Madara in like how he's coming about, because Madara's plans could be seen as somewhat sympathetical, I guess, kind of, but like also not really. You know what I mean? Kind of a weird character to look at.
Yeah, I mean, Hogazono definitely could go that route, because essentially, I mean, if he wants to actually bring order to this nation, we don't know what order means to him,
Yeah.
That's a subjective term that it should be objective, but everyone has a different, definition of what order is.
I'd be willing to bet
But
for
then-
him he wants the blades out of captivity, I would assume. I'd be willing to say that. Although to be fair, he's also aware that some of his troops have got contracts with the Eternal Blades, which if he kills the Sword Saint, then Hirohiku goes. So it makes me wonder if he never had any intentions of keeping the rest of the Hishaku with him. You know?
I have a question because I did see that regarding the contracts, but correct me if I'm wrong. I was kind of the way I saw it, and maybe this was just stated otherwise, and I'm looking over it. But I was under the impression, like again, my interpretation is that like that contract was already broken when Uruha died. Do the contracts like relink when there's a new wielder? Because the way I see it, like Kumiyuri's out of the picture for that for when it comes to being linked to the Swordmaster.
So
That, like,
no, so
confirmed?
Uraha would be
Samura.
out of the Uraha would be out of the picture, but whoever is contracted to the Kamiyuri would still be linked to the Swordmaster, if that makes sense. Because the
Yeah,
way it's
remember they
explained is it's
say-
like a master slave like configuration. So as long as that dude, as long as the Sword Saint lives, the contracts for all of the Eternal Blades all stay the same, regardless of the user. So whoever's wielding the contracted blade, if the Sword Saint dies, the wielders die with them.
Yeah, even Samura says that when he pulls up on Yura and Hirohiko after the temple, he tells them like you're the one contracted with, you know, the and the contract is through the Magatsumi's, you know.
Oh, so he tells
the-
him he's gonna like he'll die if he kills the Sword Saint. He tells Hirohiko he'd die.
Yeah.
Well, basically just saying that he's the new he's like now bounded to that same contract now essentially.
Okay.
It's like
So I had the wrong interpretation of those contracts then.
yeah.
I thought that
Nah.
contract was broken and like it wouldn't relink even if there was a new wielder. But yeah, that's interesting then.
True,
Yeah,
Morpheus,
I mean,
true.
maybe. I mean, we know technically you just have to do like what Yuta did to Yuji. You just have to kill him and then restart him up. If there's a way that they can bring people back to life, like Toto can do some kind of crazy blood shit. But I
Mm.
mean, I doubt that. I think that's really like kind of more out there. I think he's just. I mean, we'll talk about it in the episode. We'll start just in a second. But you know, I think the Hishaku are gonna lose 2 or 3 people this arc.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I feel like the losses will the gains will outweigh the losses. To be honest with you, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm convinced these guys are gonna walk away from this with Toby Mooney as well. So we were talking about that just before at the start of the
Let's
stream.
go.
That I'm convinced the statement that Yura said in chapter 75 about sacrificing Samura for
Let's
the
go.
greatest possible gain. I think that's gonna happen soon, where Samura's gonna get in to the Kaminabi HQ, like. And then Yura's going to have complete control over the Shinoichi. He's going to wipe some more off the face of the earth, and then he's going to yoink that Tobimune for himself.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hey man,
that'd
if
be
the biggest Samura Glazer is saying it, man, I feel pretty.
Yeah. I'm not
Yeah,
confident in
definitely.
his survival odds at all. Like, I love Samura's writing. I'm a big... You guys know I'm a big glazer for
Yeah.
Samura, but, like, this... I don't see a way confidently that he can survive this and move forward, especially like, given the themes and the entire overall story are sort of sins of the father
Yes.
and moving forward from those. I don't think he still is convinced in his own brain that he's gonna want to stay alive to live forward. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna have this one fleeting moment where he's gonna show Iori like, "Yo, this is how we'd go forward here. This is how we do this." I think.
Well, yeah, I think with like before I touch on, I want to mention like we talked about him being like a leader, or you said something about him getting the enchanted blades back,
Mm.
or basically taking them out. Yura could be doing like an Akatsuki type of like agenda here, where he wants to be like the central power of, you know, there's not gonna be any like pain, there's not gonna be any war. You know, it's like it's all like fun.
Yo, it's good, Nix.
Basically, you know, it's like how like Pain and Nagato went to try and rid the world of like actual pain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could be trying to do something like that. And then with the Iori and Samura thing, I'm thinking Samura. I kind of agree. Like his part in the story is not necessarily up, but I think he's like so good, and his like writing has been so consistently there that it's almost like too much of a happy ending that we got. and the fact that he's jumping right back into battle right after that,
Mm,
and now that his eyes are open
yeah.
and he's looking forward to the future, I think he's gonna realize like there cannot be a future for my daughter if I don't, sacrifice my life here.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that type of thing. He's like, the only way I can see it, but at least I got to see her before I died.
It might.
Like, it's gonna be a happy ending for him.
It could even be something similar along those lines, where Samora's like, okay, I see the future now, and now he's fighting for something other than what he was originally, where it was just going to be a self-sacrifice angle, and now it's going to make it even worse when he eventually does bite the dust, because he bit the dust wanting to live rather than going out and being the self-sacrificial goat, basically. You know what I mean?
I love that.
Dude, it would be crazy if he just has like a horrible breakdown moment.
Yeah.
Oh,
I want to live
like,
type moments. Robin from One Piece type beat. Holy
I wanted
fuck.
to see her grow up.
Oh my, stop. I'll cry. I'll shed tears on stream, brother. I'll do it.
I gotta go pick up my daughter. Hold on, I gotta go hold her for a second.
Yep. I gotta go wake her up real quick.
Yeah.
She's gonna be pissed with me, but I'm doing it anyway.
That's it. But we could just get cracking before we jump in, start talking too much about the chapter.
Yep.
It's laid back type thing. If you need to take a break or anything, just let us know. It's pretty lax.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to talk after you guys, okay? Just so we're not like talking over each other. Feel free to
No,
talk.
brother. You got something to say? Say that thing.
No, for sure. But like, I'm just saying, so we keep some sort of sequence, right?
But
I got faith in us.
oh, chat. By the way, if you're just tuning in, I'm doing the Hishaku podcast right now over on their channel. I'll grab the link from one of them right now and post it in the description, so you guys can go show them love too. They're very cool dudes. Go check them out while I'm here.
And then once I say your name, then you could come in and plug your channel off the rip, and then we could just get cracking into the chapter.
I bet.
All right.
Hello, my name is Dynamic Weeb. I'm not gonna do that. I need a link for your channel. One sec, so I can plug you guys and shit.
Appreciate it.
You want me to send you the link?
I got you. New intro. My name is Walter Hartwell White.
All right. And I'm ready to start. Everyone's good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Hishaku Hideout, a weekly podcast where we talk about the latest chapter and everything Kagurabachi. I'm here with Dice.
Yo.
And as a special guest, Weeb loves it when you call him Big Papa.
Good morning. Good afternoon. How are we all?
Ooh, what's up, man?
We're chilling. Chilling.
Today we're talking about chapter 97, The Vessel. And we get to kind of see what's going on with the barrier and how they were able to change its configuration. And it's honestly pretty like crazy to me. It starts off with a lot of the narrator, and then the security senpai homie of the Kabanabi headquarters. That's where I come in, breaking like the fourth wall and shit. I thought that was so funny. I was almost like, is he the narrator?
He actually kind of does break the fourth wall. He legitimately looks at the camera in one of the panels. Like at that second page there, at the bottom panel, he straight up looks square at the reader, which I like.
Yeah, I agree.
He's pretty crazy.
That definitely caught me by surprise, man. Like, because it's just, again, Hokuzono finds like these ways to really embed the exposition with what's going on, and you never really feel like you're out of the action.
Yeah.
Yeah, he picked a good time to do it for sure. It's not like he's like interrupting like a battle sequence and Samura is like aura farming. It's this is a pretty pretty slick way to do it, because the way the chapter starts off, and it is pretty wild, like just how important like he is to their whole operation.
Yeah.
But it also makes me think like Kazen's his position as the leader. He has so much influence, obviously, and this is what he chose to do with it. I thought his plan was a little bit kind of like too elaborate in a sense, like for what he possibly could have done at a much easier means than the way he went about. Like, obviously Yura's going to use him, uh, um, but he chose to go this way with like swapping out the scrolls and creating a new like barrier vessel.
I like that the way that they've displayed the vessels. There's been like this air of like uncertainty, I think, between both sides of the Kaminabi and the Hishaku, where when we got the exposition for the Hishaku, you could sort of see an angle where, okay, are we the bad guys here, or are they the bad guys here? Like, what are we seeing here? And then now we've got this chapter where I know obviously these guys are volunteering for this, but what they're doing is incredibly rough. They're essentially being used as a human battery, like Matrix style. Like, they are just literally growing these people, keeping them in a specific pool of candidates, and then picking one lucky dude who's just gonna sit, as it's explained, in a liminal space between life and death. And like, they're getting organs taken out, they're losing their reproductive functions, and then obviously they get compensated, but I still think that the Kaminabi haven't not found a better way to reinforce this field after all these years. Seems, what's the word? Prehistoric, maybe? Antique? It just feels evil, you know?
Making if my dick don't work, you better pay me some fucking crazy money for this.
Real shit.
Take the organs, but
Speaking of that, someone in my chat pointed out that Carlos Hishaku a couple of chapters ago couldn't pee, which made them think, what if Carlos Hishaku is the vessel, and as a result has had his organs taken away, potentially? Thoughts, feelings?
Yeah, that's why maybe he has like some. That's what we were talking about right before you joined. That patch on his face. They depict like the vessel at an earlier point in their like becoming this like center figure for the barrier. Like they show him with the holes in his chest and his torso, excuse me. And I wonder if that like he'll have like a similar like an inscription or something like from being a fresher, just going through this. And this also could be why like Yura might have just been gaslighting the poor kid, saying he's the strongest because he went through that and he endured it. You're going through something that not many people can really like come back from.
That's a good angle to look at it.
You are the strongest because like you're vital to this whole, he's basically like, bro, sorry, you gonna die.
Yeah.
Like you're not making it, you're not coming back under above ground.
You're not making a little homie, that's it.
Yeah, I would say everything points towards him being the new vessel or the second vessel, especially if that reveal is going to be handled like in like the same way that the traitor reveal was handled, where like everything pointed towards being Kasen, and most people were convinced, but there was like few people were saying like, nah, that could easily be like, to subvert expectations. I feel like, again, with everything you guys mentioned, seems to indicate that it's him. And like, even when that topic is being discussed, we cut to him and he clearly says like Yura will be king, almost in a, maybe it's just the way I look into it, but almost like in a sacrificial way. And again, it's maybe because of the context that we're coming from, like knowing that, and then we cut to him. Again, I think just even the way it's framed, it just points to it being him.
I have an alternative theory that my top two bets right now is obviously Carlos Hishaku is a good pick, I think, for the vessel. But an alternative pick is, I think it could be Tree Hat, the little Tree Hishaku dude who has not been seen in the Kaminabi HQ yet. Again, also a dude missing an eyeball, had it replaced, and he is the only other Kaminabi member, the only other Hishaku member that we've seen actually physically interacting with the barrier himself. He's the one that opens the barrier to let him and Yura into the place in the first place, So I think it could also be him. It could be Carlos, but I think I'm more leaning towards Tree Hishaku, purely based on him interacting with the barrier, him not having any sort of, I don't know, there's a lot of mystery around him, the eyeball, and then also, I'm pretty sure he's one of the only Hishaku members where the tattoo is on a separate hand.
Mhm.
It's on an alternate hand, meaning he could have lost a hand in that process. Potentially had it replaced, because we know obviously the Hishaku somehow can reattach limbs, so it's potential that happened. What do you think?
The only thing I would say that plays against it being a tree shaku is the security system homie says that they entered, like they're in the HQ now,
Mm,
and that they weren't there originally, or he would have saw them. So I mean, the way they paint it, I mean, any kind of like supplemental writing can make it be tree shaku, because his trees were like uprooted through, you know technically his spirit energy is like through the headquarters.
yeah,
And I mean, I think that with like just how he talks in this chapter makes it sound like that they're in underground with them.
yeah,
But I'm not ruling it out. I thought maybe like best genist at like, or bingo, because the panel with the scroll in the on that person's tongue, like in the third, fourth page, I thought that was like Bingo's little Mako demon monster
yeah. That's
at
true.
first, because it looks similar when Urahood like slashed it. It almost looked like the same type of drawing.
Yeah,
But it'll definitely be interesting to see like where Hokuzono takes this. I don't think it's gonna. I hope it's not as like long winded as like the. I mean, obviously it can't be as like prolonged as the trader reveal, because this is gonna be happening with us like right before our very eyes, all in the next coming chapters.
yeah,
We can't really cut anywhere else. Really, all the major players are here except Shiba and Hiyuki. And once they get that barrier, that other vessel killed, then that's when they can get in contact with Shiba and Yuki and all that.
mm. I mean, if, I'm interested to see how things are going to play out if and when they do find this vessel. But I'm fully convinced that this is all just like a misdirect, and because I don't know, like if I'm the Hishaku and my plan is to invade a base like this and try and secure an incredibly powerful object, and the one thing that's stopping them from calling for reinforcements is one of my members, I would probably not bring that member into the base. I don't know.
Oh, but he might have to be there in order to change the barrier configuration.
Yeah.
It might be vital for him to be in that like building with the getting supply with that energy or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, my thing is, where's the writing going to come from to explain how a new person's able to like overwrite this other guy? I know they're saying just the presence of the second scroll is what's causing it, but they're also the ones like managing the reconfiguration of it to like not allow the two people we need to come in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They have all the balls in their court, even though like the guy who's been in that position should have a greater understanding of it all. You know what I mean? What do you think, Dice?
Yeah, I mean that specifically is tough to say. Like I have no like really no way to, or like no ideas, right? Like I have no nothing to speculate, no theory regarding that specifically. The only thing that kind of could come close to that is the fact that we really don't know how long ago, because if Kazan swapped the scrolls, how long ago, how long has the new vessel been preparing for this? How good has that preparation been? I think those are questions that the answers to those questions could, put all of this to bed, right? And we just don't know.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna need to be flushed out as we go forward. As of now, I think it's like Pishaku is kind of like the easy like point two character to be guilty, and I think like best genist is like a very good like second option for me, just because he's the one who teleported them in. He was doing like the scroll work before all that. It seems like him and Toto are kind of like the logistical sorcery members of the Hishaku. Like they have like more ingrained sorcery stuff or more knowledge of like just sorcery in general. So I could see it also being best genus somehow. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how Hokuzono takes this one.
Mm.
And I mean, other than that, we don't get really a whole lot of, there's not much action in this chapter. It's more just like a reprieve from the previous chapters with
Yeah.
like all the action and, the Magatsumi. but I ain't gonna lie, I did like the fact of P Shaku saying Yura will be king because that is our goat over here.
Yeah.
As we cut to a Yura and Azami, but I didn't really hear much of your opinions, Weeb, of like the whole Azami versus Yura fight. How you been liking it?
I've been enjoying it. It reminds me a lot of Gojo vs Sukuna. It's got this rising tension factor to it, in my opinion, where anything can go wrong here. Like, either Azami could pull out something crazy here and potentially stop Yura's rise to power before he fully gets his hands on something ridiculous from the Shinoichi, or, next chapter, it's just Azami's legs standing there. Oh. Yo, I'm so sorry. I just got a BRB 1 second. I'm really, really sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good, man.
You're good, bro.
Right, sorry, chat. I'm back.
This, that, or the other.
Apologies, I'm back now. Sorry, had to be a dad
Good,
real
bro.
quick.
Yeah, we left off with you talking about Azami's cold dead legs just standing there in front of our king Yura. You know, I think Yura's gonna hit his ass so hard all the coins gonna fly out of Yura's pocket like Sonic. That's what I think.
I potentially agree with that. 'Cause, I mean, this dude's already said that his muscle fibers and his bones are shredded. He's like, yeah, I'm still gonna punch you with that, but I'm like, yeah, do you really want to punch a dude who's got centipedes crawling out of his mouth right now? Like, I don't know about that one, Chief. Like, maybe let's take a little beat here and think about the game plan. You know what I mean?
Azami about to be a chicken nugget by the end.
Yeah, I think this dude's about to get turned into some French fries type shit. You know, like it might be worse than Kashimo with the waffles. You know, he might just get split down in 7 different ways here. 'Cause I just don't fancy his chances for survival, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And they're talking that shit too. Like, you know, Azami's, you know, kind of pretty much telling him, like, you know, you're almost about to be done. And Yura's like, no, I'm about to live up to your expectations. I just think that whole back and forth is so cold, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Azami definitely got aura. Like, I give him shit, and I was kind of like cooking him in our last episode. I actually like Azami. He's in my top 5.
Yeah.
It's just like, there's a saying over here at the Hishaku hideout. If you stand in front of Yura, you gotta die unless you're Chihiro.
Yeah.
That, you know, it's
Yeah.
like, that's just
Die
how,
or
like, that's
horribly
how it goes.
maimed, in my opinion. Die or horribly maimed, to be honest with you, because I genuinely don't fancy this guy's chances. Like, he might come out of here looking like Kazan, you know what I mean? Like, he might be missing an arm or two, you know? I genuinely don't fancy this dude's chances at all. At all.
You're gonna see Azami at a beach looking into the water saying the
Yep.
enchanted blaze should not be out.
Yep.
They should not be a thing.
Absolutely. I think what I really like about this as well is I talked about this last week, that Azami's resolve differed from Yura's in the way that Yura's resolve, when he turned up here, this man was prepared to die. You see him talking about it just before the fights kick off
Yes.
multiple times, that he's like, we're risking our lives here. This isn't like it. So like that implies a level of failure that can happen, and Yura has accounted for it. He's like, this could fail. We could die here. This is it. This could be the end. So he's prepared to lay his life down. I mean, even in this chapter itself, it's stated that whoever is this vessel is potentially given their life to do this, you know what I mean? Which means that the Hishaku have turned up here fully, all of them, all prepared to die in combat. I mean, even Hokuto is also another great example of this. This dude's looking for the best fight that he can so he can die in glorious battle, so he can go visit Valhalla or whatever deity this dude believes in. But Azami's resolve last chapter didn't really feel like that. It felt more along the lines of, I'm only here to avenge Kunishigi, because almost every interaction that we saw him have with either internal monologue or with other characters, it felt like it was just revenge driven. But now, in this chapter, he's like, I just got to do this before I die, and that's it. So now I think he's starting to settle into the fact that this could be like his final swan song here. Like this might be, this might be his grand exit, you know, which I really like.
Yeah, I can agree to that with you know, Yura like bringing up the whole coin flip with the old man. Like,
Yeah.
Yura might have just had like a loaded coin, like a double-headed coin or
Yeah.
some shit, you know. Like, but no, I mean, I do think like Yura's like, obviously I think Yura was like legit putting his life on the line. Motherfucker pulled a knife out of nowhere. I'd never seen him do that before.
Yeah.
Placed that bitch on the table and said, "Let's go." And I think that's what, you know, those like villains that feel very like down for the cause, that they'll get into like the mud.
Yeah.
They get into it themselves. Like, yeah, Yura's like the planner. You know, he's manipulating all these things, but it was all for like this play. You know, everything is like, he even counted on Samura like unblinding himself. You know,
Yeah.
like he's like he's accounting for all these things, and he's like on Hirohiko and Pishaku's soul. We're gonna get this.
Yeah.
You know, because those two, or whoever the other vessel is for this barrier keeper, and if his goal is to kill the sword master, which that automatically means Hirohiko's dying, so he's already on Hirohiko's soul. And, like, you know, like
he's already
literally got,
condemned that
like,
motherfucker, bro.
on Hirohiko's soul, on Pishaku's soul, and maybe, and honestly, I don't think Hokuto is gonna make it out of here.
I don't think Hokuto makes it out of here, but I don't think it's because Yura sacrificed him. I think it's just because he's psychotic. You know?
Like, yeah, I think he sees Samura.
Like,
I think Samura's first fight might be against him. And,
yeah.
You know, Hokuto is not going to have a say so in fighting him or not because they're going to know they're going to know this dude's legit.
Hokuto is going to go.
Hokuto's going to take his swing at like a goat. And he's going to get Samura's going to put that fiery bird on him.
He's gonna get sent flaming through the pearly gates backwards, you know, through the fucking fiery gates. Like, this dude's not making it out of here. Like, not even through, like, an accidental death. I think he's come here, like, specifically to die in glorious combat, you know what I mean? Very Viking type shit, you know?
Yura, don't call me unless I'm gonna die.
Yep, literally.
Yeah, and like a samurai, right? So I think one thing I want to say about Yura as well is that regarding the whole thing about like him really being about it and putting his life on that line, and Weeb, specifically what you said, I thought you were cooking because we've been talking about it here for a couple of episodes now. Like, Yura's level of determination is unparalleled. It's on another level. Like, even Azami's sense to avenge his best friend in Kunishige, you cannot compare that with what Yura is doing. And the thing is, the craziest thing, it's that it's been consistent this whole time. Like, Yura had no problem showing up to the Rakuzaichi. Even if it's just to kind of taunt Chihiro, it's not very, like, final villain, and we still don't really know for a fact if he's going to be the final villain, right? But, they really don't kind of do that type of shit typically, right?
Yeah.
And again, he's doing, he put his life on the line with the coin flip. That's like a second time where he proves that he's really about it.
Yeah.
And all to really, like, fight the resolve of the sword thing, right? Excuse me. So it's crazy that, like, he does it over and over and over again. He proves that he's really about it, and you guys cannot match my level of determination. This is why we glaze him over here, man. Because he's worth the praise.
It reminds me of what Gojo said in JJK to Megami. Risking your life to win and throwing your life away, winning are not the same thing. You know what I mean? I think, like, Yura is, like, the perfect encapsulation of that. I mean, like, even his first encounter with Chihiro, where Chihiro notes, like, his mentality strength, like, how like, mentally determined you've got to be to willingly let your arm be cut off, willingly take a stab to the chest, all just so you could spit blood on a motherfucker, is insane levels of, like, mental fortitude, you know what I mean? So I do really fuck with Yura for that, because at the very least, like, if he loses, he's not gonna go out like Mahito, you know? He's not gonna go out sniveling and crying. He's gonna go out, like, gloriously, you know what I mean? Like, he might shed a tear or two, but, like, he's gonna go out and be like, damn, went out swinging, you know? Can't say I didn't try.
The tear he sheds is gonna resonate, you know? Because we still don't know, like, his origin story, and I think that is, like, the thing that I got the most, like, investment in as a Kagurabachi reader weekly.
Yeah.
It's Chihiro and Yura are my two favorite characters, and obviously if Yura isn't the final villain, I can live with that, because I do trust Hokuzono to do his thing. Just because it's what I want doesn't mean it's necessarily for the best or is what Hokuzono's plan is, you know? So, like, I'm trying to, like, at least keep open mind and just pray that it ain't Hatshaku's bum ass. Because if he's just chilling up there, the only one that's not really, like, putting his life on the line, waiting for, like, the scraps to, like, come in after it's all over when yours dead and, like, pick up a easy win, I'm gonna be really, really frustrated with that.
Yeah.
I just don't like Hashaku. But, I mean, it could still, like, obviously, that could still bang because we don't know anything about him either. And he's been there for all, like, the important moments. He's the first villain we see in the entire story.
Yeah.
The first Hishaku member.
He reminds me of Zetsu from Naruto, to be fair. Like, creepy plant dude, just always there in the background. We don't really know much about him. And obviously that guy turned out to be a major player at some point. So that's the vibes that I get from Hatshaku there.
Yeah, Hishaku could be very well like Akatsuki coded.
Yeah.
Like them wanting to bring the nation under rule. It could be like a, Pain type of a motivation, or like actual Nagato, I should say specifically.
Mm.
This like central hub of like to control and make sure that people don't go to war with each other type of thing.
Yeah.
And we don't know how like twisted this dude is. We just know that he's resolved. You know.
Yeah, one thing I want to ask you guys, because Tiberius, we've been talking about it as well for the last couple of episodes. It's this question of how allied or how aligned are the interests of the traders and Kazan's comrades within the Kamunabi and the Hishaku themselves. We kind of were both, because even though I was a bit more on the fence than you, we were both kind of leaning towards it just being like very few um, agreements, right? And like the only thing that they pretty much the only common goal left was just kill the Sword Saint. But I remember we were talking about like whether Kazan would like somebody like Yura wielding the Magatsumi, because before this chapter he talks about there being like a new wielder for the Magatsumi, but we weren't exactly sure if again if like Kazan, like the way he sees order completely aligns with what Yura wants to do for the nation, right? Like he says, I'll bring order to this nation. And I think this chapter pretty much seals, or maybe not entirely, but at least I think so, that Kazan is pretty much totally allied with the Hishaku. Maybe the Hishaku have some other plans, but I think very clearly that Yura is the type of guy, or maybe exactly the guy that Kazan wanted to wield the Magatsumi.
Mm.
What do you guys think?
Well, I got that one theory about, there's I forget how many, like 10 Hishaku members, but there's like 9 Kamunabi members, right?
Yeah.
And with like, I was saying like, what if Kazan is, made like this like pinky, the pinky ring deal with Yura, essentially like him replacing the whole Kabunabi higher ups with the Hishaku, and have his like basically this evil organization, but now it's an actual government. How people see their government as evil organizations, this would be like a legit evil organization turned into a government. And I'm still wondering if Kazan, like, because Kazan's the one by the Magatsumi. I'm thinking that because he sounds like he got small dick energy. That's what he has. So he's waiting for Yura to kill the Sword Saint using the Magatsumi's power, and then that's when Kazan's going to grab it himself and try and wield that bitch. That's what I think his plan is. But I think Yura is sent out Bingo, Urin, and all them. Go find Kazan and kill him.
I don't know, man. I don't think Kazan's getting up to do anything. I mean, this dude just got the side of his skull caved in.
He's melted to the wall.
Yeah,
still.
I think he's literally he's a feature on the wall right now. You know what I mean? Like he's not. I don't think he's getting up at any point soon, brother. Like I think at best, I think you might be giving Kazan a bit too much credit. Like maybe sure he does agree with the Hishaku's plots, ploys, and plans to overthrow the government and potentially rule Japan with an iron fist, but I don't think Yura sees him as anything more than a pawn. I think Kazan to Yura is nothing more than what Yura was to Yura, He's literally just a pawn, a guinea pig, to see how far he can get inside of the Kaminabi. And now, Kazan's essentially just ran that course, Like, he's fulfilled his usefulness. He got the Hishaku essentially into the Kaminabi, and now that's it, you know what I mean? What use does Yura have for Kazan's wants and needs once he's got all of the Shinoichi, as far as I'm concerned? And I think that goes into why he's got so many like ragtag rogues for the Hishaku. Because as you were speaking there, the only person that we've seen so far interact with Yura in a way that sort of implies their goals align is Carlos and Trihat Hishaku. The rest of the Hishaku members don't seem to be too arsed about helping Yura. Well, obviously they do want to help Yura, but I don't think they ultimately give a flying fuck about his goals ultimately, Like, Hokuto's there just for the squabble, for the beef, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and then you've got fucking Toto. She seems nonchalant as hell. Sojo definitely didn't give a fuck about what Yura wanted, you know what I mean? He's just there for the enchanted blades. And then Hirohiku, I mean, he's just a mad dog. He's going wherever he wants, you know what I'm saying? So I do think it's interesting, like the makeup of the two organizations, especially like when you compare them side by side. Obviously, you've got the Hijaku's literally just a ragtag villains basically, and then the Kaminabi, which is obviously an organized government official, but obviously they're split down the middle on how they agree with it about the Shinoichi. But I do think you're giving Kasen a bit more credit than what he's due. I think he's done. Which, if he is done, I'll be a bit sad about it. To be fair.
Yeah, I agree. Like he's definitely like. I mean, Azami turned him into a poster on the wall essentially
Yeah.
because the dude ain't moved a centimeter.
No.
But if we're gonna look at like Kazan as someone that like we're just like counting out like at this point, I gotta start pointing the finger at the Masumi again
Yeah.
because the three higher ups of the Kabunabi are like leagues above the Masumi in terms of like sorcery and all that. And we know like the Masumi said, "Oh yeah, they mastered everything in this library." You know, there's like they're legit in sorcery.
Yeah.
I mean, we like I kind of like throw shots at the Masumi. I like the Masumi, or I like Ro and Sumi. Moku can go somewhere most of the time. He's just like a fly. I mean, he's just like an NPC basically. But like I kind of just throw like shit at the Masumi, just cause they were. I thought it was funny how during when Samura finally like opened his eyes and Yuri and Ikura and the Masumi came up. Only the Masumi were calling Ikura the MVP. Chihiro and Samura didn't even talk to that motherfucker once. Didn't even look at him. Like they showed that, like that's not the MVP. What? Like, I mean, obviously I know Ikura played a massive part. I'm not saying that, but I think it's funny how like Hokuzono has made this distinction, and he made the distinction early about the enchanted blades being above sorcery, just in terms of like a combat. They're just overall like the spirit energy can't be kept within the body, so it's like these spirit manifestations of these animals or whatever.
I think you sort of touched on a little bit at power scaling, sort of a little bit there, and I think Hokuzono is writing the story to be ambiguous in that sense. That you can't really sort of get unless it's an enchanted blade, you can't really sort of get a real gauge on what people's powers are in terms of like the overall statistics within the verse,
How long have they been using it, and into what levels? Because Chihiro is probably fighting lawyers and bankers. And, Chihiro before the story, as long as he had it, he must have not been fighting anyone of like notable strength.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously as a kid just learning the sword, I get that, but that's what he even says himself, like I've had it longer than the people during the war.
Yeah.
But I'm not a master. Like it's definitely there's levels to this shit.
It's quality over quantity at that point, isn't it?
Yeah, facts. And like I do think it's more of like an ambiguous thing that I do want to see like one full out like sorcery versus sorcery fight.
Yeah.
Like just like Shiba. I wanted Shiba and Azami to throw hands.
Yeah.
And if that was the only sorcery versus sorcery fight, I'd be happy. But I see I definitely agree with you though. It's a bit ambiguous of saying like, how close is like peak Shiba and Azami to.
Yeah. I think it's kind of. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, I just wanted to get Dice's opinion on that before we go too much further on.
Yeah, I mean that whole like using enchanted blades to scale, I've never really been a fan of because of this very same thing you guys are getting into now. One thing that we know for a fact, because Yura is our Lord or Savior and we'll take his word as gospel, is that we know the Shiba is the pinnacle of sorcery, right? Like that term has been specifically used for Shiba, and it's specifically talking about how they had to like dodge him, right? Like avoid him or deal with him. There was also some ambiguous phrasing in how he said that, but that's one thing that we know for sure. Like everything else is kind of with that in the middle. At least that's how I see it. And yeah, I think using the enchanted blades to scale is just kind of tricky because of the same things you guys got into. So there is one thing I want to kind of moving along. There's one thing I want to kind of get your thoughts. Tiberius, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. So one thing that we see towards the end of the chapter, once they know that there's a second vessel, they tell Hakuri or Ichiki tells Hakuri and Kiri to join the battle. This isn't really a big deal, but I just thought it was funny how every time we've seen Hakuri in the previous chapters, they've been stressing on how he needs to take it easy. He just had to teleport the Magatsumi, right? And then now, like, all of that is out the window. Now he needs to join battle. We know Kiri's fine, but Hakuri really joining the battle again. I just
Yeah.
thought was hilarious.
I like how he was like a vessel. Like your dumbass don't know what that word means, probably, bro.
Yeah.
Your brain don't mush right now.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The most crazy crackpot theory that I came up with so far is Hakuri's a traitor, and has been for a while.
Oh shit!
And I know that's out there. I know that is very, very much out there, right? But let's think about the Sazanami family and how obviously they've already interacted with Yura and the Hishaku, and they were already working at points, you know. Hakuri was just allowed to just sort of fly under the radar. I know obviously he wasn't a part of the family, but how do we not know that he was set up to find Shihiro at that exact point, that exact time, and just help him sort of along with all these moments, you know what I mean?
Oh, he's like Yura's manipulated him. He
Yeah.
was like, yeah, you should kill your family, but first do this for me.
Yep.
He's like, it is out the realm of possibility. But that's one devoted motherfucker, though. I have to say,
This,
make his
Yeah,
brain.
yeah, yeah.
He make himself give himself brain blood.
but
just
there's
for the
also
cause.
like the thing where it's the visual storytelling that with Hokuzoda sometimes that I'm just like, I think maybe it could also be like a case of just old age skeptical old man. I'm just shouting at the clouds, but like in this
Why
chapter,
do you give Samura's a blade first instead of Uraha?
that's what I'm
Why did you-
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's just interesting, like, little moments there with Hakuri where I'm like, okay, well, maybe if you think about this a second, why did you take that specific action? You know what I mean? Like, and then in this chapter alone, it says, another vessel like me. You skip to the next page, who's there? It's fucking Hakuri. You know what I'm saying? And everyone for a while there was sat there thinking, oh, the Shinoichi is going to be used to, on Hakuri. It's going to take over Hakuri and then blah, blah, blah. It's, Sword Saint might teleport himself out with Hakuri. Like, I don't know. It's just there's just something about it that just doesn't seem right to me. There's just something about it, and it could be just an absolute nothing burger, but it's just something about that dude when I'm like, if he turned out to be a traitor, man, I'd start screaming at the clouds because I think I'd be like, wow, I can see the future with this shit.
Yeah, that's one of those things where I think there's like writing, supplemental writing for it. Because you can. And it's another thing too is like when we read stories, especially not getting like being able to binge it all at once, just seeing the crumbs of like leading to these big reveals, we start, we have to at least entertain the possibility of what character could fit in what like the traitor reveal, for instance. I mean, motherfuckers thought Kudo was going to be the traitor still. And they weren't really like crazy for even suggesting that because we can never really, if we don't see a body, it's hard to really like say.
Yeah,
I mean, shit, we saw Uraha die. You know what I mean?
that's true.
Like, even when you see bodies, like you just don't know if someone can come back or playing the game. So like it's definitely one of those things where like when you read it weekly, and there's like these different reveals you're waiting to happen or get paid off. You do entertain like the possibility of like the craziest things, and I think content creators can kind of like deepen it a bit too. Looking for like, oh, what if this is like the craziest theory, but what if it becomes true? Like I'd be like, there's like that thing of having that video.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that. I'm so guilty of that. But like, for me, it's not even like the content thing. I'm just genuinely riddled with crackpots. You know what I mean? Like I love to overreach shit. I once made a video about Gojo's eyes being like in regards to like how Gege had colored them and they were a different color, and I was like, this is gonna be a different power for him. You know what I mean? Nothing came of it, but it was just I saw his eyes being a different color. I was like, hold up, hey, what are you doing? What's going on here?
He's about to use a fucking hollow white.
Yep, lime green. It's here. It's time. It's happening.
A fucking Crayola 64 pack of Crown. Ability. No, facts though. That is funny though.
I was just gonna say, it kind of feels like these kind of authors like Gege. Though I heard, I'm not sure how accurate or if it was just people memeing. The whole colorblind thing. I'm pretty sure that was a joke, but it feels like, those kind of authors lean into, or great authors in general lean into that sort of speculation and raising questions, right? For this very sort of thing.
Yeah, they do play into certain things to kind of like lead you down a certain road, like these red herrings. If reveals were so easy to figure out, then it's not much of a mystery at
Yeah,
that point.
wouldn't be
So
very
you have
good.
to have you have to have contentious. Um, there has to be like room for like um, you know debates on who it could be. And we brought JJK up a good bit this episode. But the thing with JJK that was Gege did such a good job of is keeping like the conversation always going.
Yeah.
Like there was never not a conversation happening about JJK, in the fandom. There is times in Kagurabachi where it's not as like, the first 2-3 days are always lit, but it does dissipate. JJK was like motherfuckers were cranking theories out about last chapter the day
Sorry,
before.
1 second.
Yeah, the new. Like
Yeah.
in a vacuum, to be fair, because like when you write a chapter and it just as like a standalone chapter, the thing is we've had so much like action the past couple, we're not so much action. Well, yeah, we had a lot of action the last handful of
Yeah.
chapters, and this chapter doesn't really have any fighting. It's more just like a slowdown to give us a little bit of exposition on, how the barrier works, how they were able, even though this doesn't tell us how they were able to reconfigure the barrier the perfect way that they needed it to. I mean, we don't. Maybe we'll get that information. Maybe Hokusan is just going to leave that out. I don't know, but considering it is a slower chapter in terms of like action pace, I think there's like enough moments here to like give it a 9.
Oh yeah.
Valid.
Oh yeah.
Sorry,
All right, bro.
I have to shoot. I'm so sorry. I've got to bounce early on you.
No, you're good, bro. We were
No,
getting
we're
ready to
good.
wrap up anyway.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for being here, man.
Of course, I
Yeah, man,
appreciate you
thanks.
guys having me on. Cheers. It was a pleasure as always. Thank you.
Yeah, hope everything's all right, by the way.
Yep. Thank you.
Have a good one, man.
Right, chat. I'm gonna have to shoot. I have to go. I gotta go be a dad. So I appreciate you all hanging out as always. Go check out the Hishaku podcast. I will pin it in the comments below. All that good shit. Much love, big fucking kisses, and I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Okay, peace.